well done.
Thank you. Come on.
Good evening, Newport. Hello, everybody. We have had a wonderful, wonderful day on the island today, meeting local businesses, local students, the future of the island and indeed the future of our country. And I'm the Member of Parliament for Reform UK, just on the mainland in Fareham and Waterlooville. And it is a great honour to be here with you this evening. I want to start by saying thank you. Thank you to those of you who have joined Reform, who have supported Reform over the years or months, because you love this country, you believe our best days are ahead of us, and you want change. Thank you for standing up for Britain. And to those of you who are not members, but are here out of interest, who want to learn, who want to check us out, I want to thank you. Thank you for giving up your Monday evening, for being here. You too care about the future of this country. You too love our country and you want the best for it. So thank you for putting in the time to find out about Reform. Now, I'm a relatively new member of the gang. I only joined 6 weeks ago. And I've got to tell you this. I wish I'd done it sooner. I wish I'd done it 6 months before. Because what I have found in Reform UK is a mission-driven party. It's not a party, it's a movement full of patriots. A movement that is not daunted by the scale of the challenge facing our great nation, that has a profound belief in the greatness of its people and our country, and has the greatest level of determination to fix it. It's one of the best decisions I've ever made, after marrying my husband. I gotta say that. He'll be upset if I don't. Now, it took me some time, I'll be honest. I had to think about it for a long time, because I had been a member of the Conservative Party for over 30 years. I joined when I was about 12 years old. My mum joined me up because she was a Conservative councillor in London, where we lived. She joined the Conservative Party in the early 1990s, late 80s, because of one lady, Mrs. Thatcher. What a woman. What a woman, hey? My mum looked up to Mrs. Thatcher. Mrs. Thatcher took on Arthur Scargill and the Unions and won. She won the Falklands. She delivered home ownership for a whole generation. She believed in law and order. She cut our taxes and she grew our economy. But above all, Mrs. Thatcher was one of the greatest patriots this country has ever seen. And do you know what? Looking back, I don't think this country has ever had a strong leader like we had in Mrs. Thatcher since. Someone who had the backbone to take on the vested interests. Someone who was willing to put her money where her mouth was and stand up for our great nation. Someone who believed heart and soul in the British people. And so, in the last few years, I realised that something went wrong with the Conservative Party. It was no longer the party of Margaret Thatcher. It was a party that broke its promises. Because the truth is that even as the Home Secretary in the Conservative Party, sitting around that cabinet table with a Conservative Prime Minister and Conservative colleagues, I couldn't force the party to keep its promises. The Conservative Party promised to cut net migration, out of control immigration that's putting pressure on our public services and on our communities. And yet what happened under the Conservatives? Immigration rose. It broke its promise. The Conservative Party promised to do whatever it takes to stop the boats. And yet what happened under a Conservative government? The numbers kept coming and the boats continued their invasion. The Conservative Party promised to lower taxes, and yet it was a Conservative government that rose our taxes to a 70-year high. The Conservative Party promised to bring back law and order, and yet it was under the Conservative watch that we saw extremism and Islamism run riot on our streets. And when, as Home Secretary, I tried to stop two-tier policing, what did they do? They sacked me. That's the Conservative Party of today, a party that utterly failed to do the right thing for the British people. And so, for the first time in many years, as a member of Reform UK, do you know what I feel? I feel some hope. I feel that there is a path forward. I feel that I'm working with people who genuinely care about this country's future and are willing to do whatever it takes to fix it. For the first time in many years, I don't feel politically homeless. I don't feel that I have to hide my patriotism. It's Reform UK that understands the scale of the challenge before us. When it comes to law and order, it's Reform UK that will have the backbone to bring back confidence in our police. Because the truth is, people don't have faith in our policing anymore. Let me tell you something. A couple of years, it was recorded that over 2 million offences went unreported. What does that mean? People didn't bother to report their crimes to the police because they don't think it's going to make a difference. They don't have faith in our policing. Why? Because it's police officers in some forces who are too busy taking the knee. It's some police officers in some police forces who are too busy arresting people for offensive words on Twitter, for saying a man can't be a woman or complaining about illegal migration. It's some police officers where disgracefully some of our specialist firearms police officers have been charged with murder simply for protecting the British people. It's a disgrace. We've got chief constables who have made grand confessions of being institutionally racist. And so they've stopped using stop and search, and then knife crime has got out of control. So you see, woke policing is ruining public confidence and harming public safety. And that's why I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, feel that there is only one option to save this country, and that is Reform UK. Why? Because it's Reform UK that has the courage of its convictions. It's led by Nigel Farage, a man who has not shirked his duty to tell the truth to the British people for decades. When Nigel told the British people that the EU was destroying our democracy, the establishment tried to shut him down, but the British people supported him. When Nigel Farage said that the country was at breaking point because of out-of-control immigration, The mainstream parties vilified him and demonized him, but the British people supported him. And now, when Nigel Farage is the only party leader with the backbone to say that Britain is broken and that Reform UK will fix it, they're going to try and do everything to stop us. And I'm glad you're optimistic. I tell you, sir, they are. They tried to cancel elections because they don't want to give the British people a say. They try to police our freedom of speech because they don't want the British people to have a say. The establishment is trying to control our freedoms, and we have to stand up to it. And fundamentally, it's Reform UK that has told me some truths about this country. It's not racist to want to cut immigration. It's not racist to want to stop the invasion of illegal migration. And it's not Islamophobic to want to tackle the Islamist grooming gangs or extremism on our streets. Reform UK is the only party that has the courage to tackle these truths and do something about it. And that's why, with a Reform UK government, we will leave the European Convention on Human Rights. We will restore law and order and common sense policing to our streets. And we will bring an end to this divisive and disgraceful extremist sectarian politics that is ripping our country apart. When you come to Britain, you speak our language, you sign up to our values, you pay your dues, and you respect this country. Otherwise, you're out. And so, listen, we've got a big challenge on our hands. The next general election will probably be the most consequential of my lifetime, maybe even some of your lifetimes. Some of you have had a slightly longer lifetimes than me. Not many. We're all youngsters here. And there's a lot at stake. We can either move forward to a patriotic, prosperous, free future, or we can go backwards towards more economic decline, less freedom, and less prosperity and less opportunity for our young people. The choice is going to be very, very clear. The old parties have failed. Vote Reform and let's fix Britain. Thank you.
Fantastic stuff. Thanks ever so much, Suella. Well, that brings us nicely to our final speaker. He is a man who, quite frankly and literally, needs no introduction. Woo indeed. He is arguably the most famous politician in this country, if not the world. His career is long, it's distinguished, and it's most certainly varied. Thanks to I'm a Celebrity, he's gained a whole legion of new, young supporters. He is a social media sensation, a man known for his straight-talking, no-nonsense approach. Now, last year, he was voted most influential politician in Britain at the Spectator Awards. And YouGov, well, it gets better because YouGov now cites him as the most popular politician in the country. But ladies and gentlemen, let me be clear. Soon he will make history again when he becomes the next British Prime Minister. Before we meet him, let's see him in action.
We are all ships rising on a turquoise tide, headed towards winning the next general election. This government is deep in crisis. They are not fit to govern. The Conservative Party are riven. There is a new, strong, unified party, the party that stands up for decent, working people, and we are the party on the rise. The energy has been unbelievable. The enthusiasm has been extraordinary. You are the people's army.
Reform is now in government. And the big shout-out message, and it's very, very clear, is if you vote Reform, you get Reform. And when it comes to country, of what a nation is, this is where I do personally want to confront the Prime Minister head on.
No one cares more about the state of this country than I do.
There is nobody more determined than me.
But I tell you what, folks, that was just the beginning. Thank you very much indeed.
And now, please welcome the leader of Reform UK, Nigel Farage, MP.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Incredible. Incredible.
Good evening, Isle of Wight! Well, it's fantastic to be here in your beautiful island, but it's an island, I think, that gets overlooked. How many other political leaders come and address you and give you the opportunity to engage in a democratic process? What, you haven't seen Keir Starmer lately? What, you wouldn't want Keir Starmer to come? No, I can't say I blame you. I thought I'd begin tonight with a profound political statement. I've come to the conclusion that the country is run by a bunch of muppets. I mean, here we are on the Solent, and you think across to Pompey, you think of this country, the greatest naval nation the world had ever seen. Greatest ever. HMS Victory, Warrior, all the amazing sights there. Our strength, our power on the sea, across the world. And as we speak, in the naval dockyard in Portsmouth, and by the way, it didn't take much working out, did it? That the Americans and Israelis were going to attack Iran. They'd been massing ships for weeks. We knew something was going to happen. The Royal Navy said to the government, we better send some assets down to the Mediterranean. But nothing. HMS Dragon, I am told, could be refitted for a further 2 weeks. An RAF base is attacked by Iranian missiles, and we now have to rely on the French Navy to defend us. I mean, I'm grateful that they are. Even the Greeks have sent a ship to help. Of course, it isn't all Keir Starmer's fault. 14 years of Conservative government that put our taxes up to the most they've been since the war, that opened the door to mass migration on a scale that's never seen. And can you believe, of the last 3 million that came as part of the Boris wave, only 20% have work permits. The rest, you'll be paying taxes for the rest of your lives. A government that broke every promise, a government that betrayed the Brexit vote. And by the way, well done the Isle of Wight. What a big Brexit vote we had here. A government that in 14 years allowed vast numbers of people to choose not to work. You can now get disability benefit if you suffer from mild anxiety. I have it every morning when I wake up. Not until they open. But you know, perhaps the biggest sin of all was allowing our armed forces to be denuded to the point where we can't even defend British sovereign territory for weeks, where if we send one of our carriers, it will have to be escorted by other nations. I believe what we've seen in the last few days is the total humiliation of our country. It is truly shameful. And what Starmer's managed to do, he's upset the Americans, he's upset the Cypriots, he's upset all the Arab states that like us because of indecision. And what we need are leaders that make decisions. We may like some of them, we may dislike some of them, but the country needs firm direction. And currently, we are rudderless in absolutely every regard, and frankly, our reputation around the world is, I think, lower than it has ever been. And we're led by people who do not have the fundamental patriotic spirit in their hearts that I believe you in this audience tonight have. Led by weak men and women who don't even tell the truth on their CVs. Anybody here think Rachel from accounts did 10 years as an economist at the Bank of England? No, nor do I. Nor do I. Not for 1 minute.
Tory in disguise.
But be in no doubt. Hello there. Oh, hello. We got a couple of... Gosh. It's all right. That's all right. They've just over-practiced in the bar, that's all. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. And by the way, anybody here that wants to shout me down, bear this in mind. I'm the only political leader that will come to this island, meet your businesses, visit the magnificent Isle of Wight College, have a public meeting, be held to scrutiny, meet your newspapers. None of the others have the guts to do it, so please. So I would have thought the least you can do is actually have the respect to listen, whether you agree or disagree. It's called democracy. And it's what previous generations fought in 2 world wars at massive price to give us, freedom and liberty in our country. The first thing we have to do is to recognize the depth and the extent of the trouble that we're in. You know, unless you go and get the scan at the hospital, you can't find out how big the problem is. Now, Keir Starmer keeps telling us, by the way, Keir Starmer. We're getting some alternative CVs shouted out on the right over here. He'll be gone by the end of May anyway, don't worry about that. The trouble is, he'll be replaced by Ed Miliband or Angela Rayner. I mean, there you are. It's not my fault, is it? Come on. We are in economic decline. Our small businesses are being hammered. Our hospitality trade punished in the most unnecessary way, which for an island like this that relies heavily on tourism is a disaster. For our industries, we now have the most expensive energy prices in the world. And yet they're determined. They're determined. What did Boris say? We're going to become the Saudi Arabia of wind. This country is now down to 2 days' supply of natural gas. If the wind doesn't blow and the turbines don't produce, the way we get electricity is by turning on the tap and burning gas. It is utterly negligent, moronic, to believe that by following net zero and not producing our own natural gas, but importing it from the rest of the world, that somehow we're saving the planet. And what we will do, we will drill for oil, we will frack for gas, and we will reindustrialize our country. It's madness to see refining, cement making, all the heavy industries, all the heavy engineering going to India, going to China, and then we ship the goods back across the world. It is madness. We will be on the side of business. We will be on the side of small business. But most of all, we will be on the side of alarm clock Britain. We will be on the side of workers. We will. We can't go on in a country where you're as well off not working as you are working. We will make work pay in Britain, and I say it and I mean it. And our society, we must recognize the societal mess that we're in, and much of it caused by irresponsible, uncontrolled mass migration. Large parts of our cities in which people don't speak the language. Demonstrations on the streets of Birmingham at the weekend mourning the death of the murderous Ayatollah. We have a 5th column living in our country now that hate us and hate everything about us, and that has been done by both the Conservative and Labour Party. And it's a brutal truth to face up to, but it's true. And yet still Still the boats come, although not today. It was too foggy, wasn't it? Made me think of the old phrase, fog in the Solent, mainland cut off. And still the young men come across in the boats. Hardly any ever get deported. Well, let me promise you, if you come here by boat, or if you have come here illegally, under a reform government, you will not be allowed to stay in our country, because we will leave the European Convention on Human Rights and get back the control of our borders. So there's a four-letter word. I'm going to throw a four-letter word at you. Are you ready? You sure? The four-letter word that we will campaign on as we fight for the true values that we believe in, and that is putting family first, community first, country first. For those things to happen, we have to give the country hope. Hope is what this country needs. And you can't give hope, you can't offer the recipes if you still believe that Britain isn't broken. And Britain is broken. Britain needs reform, and reform a fresh group of people with real experience of life in the world. Many of us have run companies, made monthly payroll. We are the people to fix Britain, not those that broke it in the first place. And we will stand up and fight for things that matter. Democracy matters. Last year, here in the Isle of Wight, your votes were postponed, weren't they? You were told, no, sorry, it may have been 4 years. You may be paying your council tax. You may not be happy with the Isle of Wight Council, but you can't have your vote. And unbelievably, this year, there were many counties who for the second year in a row were going to be denied their vote. And the connivance that went on between the Labour government, the Conservative opposition, and even the Liberal Democrats got in on the act. That Ed Davey is ridiculous, isn't he? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And we stood up and fought for the simple basic principle of no taxation without representation. We took the government to court, I took the government to court, and won back the right for 4.6 million people to vote on May the 7th this year. Democracy, freedom, liberty, these things matter. Now look, I am not in any way an ordinary politician. Some would say I'm not normal at all. I don't know. I don't need to do this. I don't need to be here, although I've got to tell you, isn't it incredible that we filled this place to capacity and hundreds more couldn't even get tickets? Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. I didn't need to come back into this. 20 months ago, I just turned 60, had my first 2 grandkids, doing well on GB News. But I came back into the political fray. I couldn't bear to see Brexit being squandered. I couldn't bear to see our country going down the tubes. I couldn't bear to see us sinking to third world status, and I couldn't bear to see the gutless, spineless leaders that we had of both the parties. And so I came back 20 months ago into politics. I don't need the job. I'm doing it because I want to turn this country around. And I am absolutely determined to do it. But I can't do it. I can't do it without you. You are the people's army that we need. We can only succeed through the mass mobilization of millions of people in this country. We will have everybody against us. We'll have the other parties obviously against us. We'll have the BBC against us. Oh, not keen on my license fee then? Don't worry, we'll deal with that as well. Everybody will be against us. The trade unions will be against us. Many big businesses will be against us. People want to maintain the status quo, but we know it's a failing status quo. We know this country needs radical reform and radical change. And so I say to you, here on the Isle of Wight, as you face elections that come up on the 7th of May, it's the last big test before the next general election. And I believe, I really believe, if we get this right, we can win control of the Isle of Wight Council as Reform UK. I do. So, you like that idea, yeah? Yes! So let me ask you, are you prepared, all of you, in whatever way you can, tonight, to commit to yourselves, to commit to me, that you're prepared to do something about it? Yes! Well, you've just made a commitment. You've just made a promise. You wouldn't break a promise to me, would you? No! Good. What I need, and by the way, hands up here who is not a member of Reform. Oh, crikey. If we lock the doors, they could be here for hours. I would ask you to come and join us. I would ask you to get involved with us. I would ask you to eulogize for us. I would ask you to tell your friends and family about us. I would ask you to join the People's Army, and I do it because if we don't get this right, that next general election may be the last chance we get to turn round this shameful decline that our once great nation has sunk into. And I'm absolutely determined, because you know something? The silent majority agree with us. I know it, you know it. It's just about getting them mobilized. And I would also ask you in this room, we still need more people prepared to put themselves up as candidates to stand in these Isle of Wight elections. Dig deep into your thoughts. Dig deep into your conscience. Dig deep into your sense that you'll be doing this to help your community and to help your country. That is what I need, folks. I need you to help us. If you want to join us, and if you feel like it, please put your names forward. We want people of all ages, of all backgrounds, of all experiences. If we win on the Isle of Wight on May the 7th, and I believe we can, and you believe we can, don't you? All right. If we win on May the 7th, we will then win both general election seats here on the Isle of Wight for Reform at the next general election. Yep. And you, as an island, will have a much, much stronger voice. You never know. Maybe even more people will come and visit you on a regular basis. But I'll make you a promise. If you win on May the 7th, I'll come back here to this very venue for a victory party with all of you. How about that? So come on. Are some of you considering putting your names forward as candidates? Are you all shy? A hand goes up over there. A hand goes up there, and there, and there, and there, and there. I feel like Billy Graham, stand up for Jesus. Fantastic. Those of you that have, there's a table at the back. All you've got to do is fill in a form. It's very, very easy. Thank you. Big thanks to all of you tonight for coming out in such numbers. I'm honoured to share the stage with Suella and many others. Weren't our young councillors amazing at the beginning? Amazing. There is a new young generation coming through. Amongst many of them, they give me hope. They want to work. They want to, do good jobs, get houses, have families, and do all of the normal things. And I'm really, really pleased. Whether indeed it was my time in the jungle being covered in snakes that attracted them, as David said earlier, I don't know. What I do know is this political movement is unlike anything that has ever been seen before in the history of this country. We have topped the last 230 opinion polls, and we're going to go on and fight and win that next general election, aren't we? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Brilliant. Really good. We do it well. Oh, look at that. Whey!